Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, August 17th, 2017. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations. Always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you've had a good week so far. I've got a lot I want to cover in today's video, so I'm just going to jump right in. Regular viewers well know that we always start these videos off with a look at the Russell Index. Why? Because I think it's so important to understand the lay of the land and where you are in the markets and try your best to glean market direction before making any decisions. And to keep these videos short, I just choose one index, and that one index is the Russell. So we're looking at the IWM. We always step back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. We've been paying particular attention to this wedge pattern up here that the Russell's been trading in through since the beginning of the year. So just to review, the blue line is long-term support, the orange line is medium-term support, and the purple line is short-term support. The two very important ones are this orange line here and this black sloping line of resistance that has held price in since the very beginning of the year. So monthly candles, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August so far. So we're halfway through the month of August. We've got a red candle. Worth noting, and we've talked about this, is the doji that occurred for the month of July and where it occurred. So it occurred right at the top of our range and our resistance. A doji is a candle with a wick at the top and a wick at the bottom and a small body right in the middle. The market's looking for direction and it decides its direction in the following sequence of candles. So far the market's deciding softness. So I wanted you to note that. So I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 1-year weekly. Same orange line, same black line of resistance. Haven't moved that line in a very long time. And here's our purple line of more short-term support. We drew this purple line in a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, when price was above it, saying, hey, price is going to have to hold this purple line, and it didn't. So price on the Russell is now, to me and my way of thinking, in a short-term downtrend, in a larger uptrend, because we still haven't lost this weekly support here. So for this pattern of, for the most part, trending higher market to stay in place, price needs to respect this level here. Will it? I don't know. I just take it day by day, but I think it's worth taking a look on the weekly and referencing this area to see how price behaves when we get down there. Futures look to be starting off to the soft side this morning, so we will see. But on the weekly, you need to note we had resistance. We've talked about this a lot, but this black line offered resistance back here in February, April, July. Is this going to be a bigger downtrend? I don't know. I'm just going to take it day by day. But last week's candle with increasing selling volume is interesting. How will this week's behave? We'll see. I'm going to move it away from the 1-year weekly to the 6-month daily. Note that that's the same purple line, same orange medium area of support. Price is below the 8-day EMA, so we're not putting any new charts forward. I'm watching to see how price behaves around this area, because to me and my way of thinking, if we're going to respect this prior swing off this orange line where it offered support, then we're coming into the zone. If it's going to be higher than here, we're kind of coming into the area here where it's going to have to perk up and lift. Will it? I'm not so sure. It's kind of trying to here. You can see the efforts that it's making, but I'm not so sure if it's going to hold. So keeping an eye on that. This is the daily. We will see. Should price recover, I want to highlight a handful of old Chart of the Day Cafe picks that might be worth keeping an eye on here. So I'm going to do that in the next section of today's video. Here are the handful of stocks that I thought might be worth keeping an eye on. There are 4 of them. 2 of them are dividend payers, 2 of them are not. They're all past chart of the day cafe picks, so if you know me, it's all about brilliant scores. I'm looking for the diamonds, the charts that have beautiful value scores, beautiful growth scores, low PE, and hopefully pay a dividend. Not all of them pay a dividend, but most of them do. So let's start off with TX, Terrarium. It's a metals company, steel, I should say. We put it forward, chart of the day cafe here. It dipped lower, so it's all about price being up and over the 8-day. But I always keep an eye on things, keep them on a watch list, and when they move up and over the 8-day, I'm interested. So for example, I run a model portfolio. I was buying TX right here and selling it here. I always sell before earnings, but it's teeing up again here. The volume is picking up. If it moves up and over the 8-day EMA, I'll be interested in it again in this area. Check the scores on TX this morning. Really high value score. Forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 30% and a dividend yield of 3.36%. The next one is a dividend payer as well, SCHN. We put this one forward somewhere here, I think. Yeah, that little green circle. So it's all about price being up and over the 8-day. Kind of walked around a little bit, but then took off. Nice solid candle yesterday after consolidating for a number of days. Volume starting to pick up. This one has a nice high value score, forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 32%, and a current dividend yield of 2.88%. Checked all these scores this morning, by the way. The next 2 are not dividend pairs, but beautiful charts. Love them. eBay has a nice high value score and a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 12%. We put it forward in our video here, looking for a move up and over the 8-day EMA. I like the way it's consolidating here. Should we have a solid day, and that's a big if, I want to see eBay move up and over the 8-day EMA, and then I will be interested, but putting it on my watch list. And lastly, Google. Google was an earlier pick of ours. I don't have my green circle on here, but I know Google's done really well. We put Google forward. I've been doing these videos now for a long time. We put Google forward initially back here in June of 2015. But I've checked the scores on Google again this morning, and they are still nice and high where we want them. Oops, let me pull it into the 6 month, sorry about that. So I'm looking for Google to have a nice solid candle up and over the blue 8-day EMA. Scores on Google this morning, nice high value score and forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 14%, no dividend. So those are the handful to keep an eye on. With that, I'll leave you. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll put our next video out on Tuesday.